Oh, thank God.
Welcome back, Ultramaganation citizens,
Welcome.
to the shittiest podcast on Rumble.
On the Rumble.
Oh shit, I gotta fix the camera. Sorry guys, we don't have a high-end production team. Once again, this is the shittiest podcast on Rumble.
Dusty ass shoes.
We have Tom and Greg.
Tom and Greg.
That's what we have.
Russian Greg today. No, I'm just kidding.
Russian Greg. Damn, we dropped to one viewer now that it actually started on Rumble. But thanks for watching.
Let's see if that is X.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Ultramaganation. Grab your coffee, turn the volume up, and lock in because Washington is in an absolute tailspin, and we have the raw receipts. Folks, Thomas Jefferson famously wrote back in 1787 that the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Now, he was talking about the necessity of people standing up to the government that forgets who it answers. Today, the battlefield isn't a dirt road, it's the halls of our republic. And the globalists' establishment is playing dirtier than ever because they are absolutely terrified of the American First Movement. Tonight, we are pulling back the curtain on that, and I am calling the hospital plotting Tuesday Chuck Schumer and 4 Republican RINOs, and yes, we already named the names, waited for Mitch McConnell to hit a hospital bed just so they could pull a sneaky backroom 50 to 48 attendance trick. They passed a symbolic war power resolution trying to handcuff President Trump's foreign policy. Out of 160 attempts, as we told you last week, over 50 years of American history, this kind of stunt had hit a brick wall 158 times. The only 2 times were against President Trump. Tuesday was the only other time against President Trump that it cleared. But guess what? Iran saw the weakness, and less than 48 hours later, they shattered a fragile ceasefire by launching 4 suicide drones and bombing a commercial cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz. The establishment played hall monitor, but Donald Trump acted like the commander-in-chief he is and didn't ask Chuck Schumer for permission. He bypassed the red tape, scrambled 6 aircraft, and ordered CENTCOM to completely flatten Iran's drone bases, radar sites in under an hour. J.D. Vance put it bluntly: violence will be met with violence. We are breaking down the tactical specs of that strike tonight. And while Trump is purging deep state actors over at the DNI office, the rule of law is officially making a comeback on domestic soil. We are diving deep into a massive federal court ruling out of Texas, where a judge just dropped a combined 450-year hammer on an armed Antifa terrorist cell that had organized a violent ambush on an ICE facility. The ringleader got a flat 100 years, and the rest are going away for 30 to 70 years. The message is clear. The days of rioting with zero consequence are over. If you try to destroy this country, you will rot in a federal cell. We've got the math, we've got the timelines, and we've got the truth that the mainstream media is trying to bury. We're going to dust off the mic. We need you to tell a friend, and let's get into the receipts. How y'all doing this evening?
Got an aloha.
Got an aloha.
Got our Hawaiian fans in here.
Y'all are in Hawaii right now. While you're there, share the podcast. Tonight we've got a couple things we're going to talk about. But at the end of the day, none of it matters if we don't go vote in November. We're going to start this podcast out with that after the monologue, because if we do not go and vote like our lives depend on it,
yes,
then what's going to happen to our republic is going to be abysmal.
Gonna have libtard.
So go out and vote. Like Dan Bongino says, grab 10 people, send 10 emails, send 10 phone calls, send 10 text messages, send 10 phone calls.
Call 10
people.
phones.
And we're probably going to start the podcast with that very statement for the rest of the time. I know we don't have a lot of viewers. I know we're not a huge podcast. I understand that, but the few people, like even the 8 people that are watching now, one on YouTube, we're actually sitting at 28 counting X, that if all of you do that, if all 28 total people watching, that's 280 people. Pay 10 homeless people. Don't do it. We can't announce that, Chris. So the first story we're going to break in tonight is the high stakes legal context of the fact that the Texas court had a huge ruling, applied 450 total years.
Oh, yeah.
To an Antifa terrorist group. And this is the first time we as a republic have seen Antifa actually answer for burning down a city.
Yes.
And technically they didn't burn down a city this time.
They have to answer for something.
They finally have to answer for something. And this is almost like a glorious moment, because Antifa and all the political terrorist groups that have been burning cities since what, 2020, 2016?
Yeah, it's 2020. Oh, yeah.
Like all
BLM
the
was
people that
2020.
burned down Minnesota and all that stuff, none of those people were held for any accountability.
Those were peaceful.
Yeah, it's so peaceful that the reporters like peaceful protesting while a building's burning behind them.
The violent ones were the people that kind of slowly and gently walked through the Capitol.
That the police opened the doors and let them in?
And they made sure to stay in between
while they shot
velvet ropes.
A veteran?
Mm-hmm.
And shot and killed a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And then tried to propagate a story where a police officer died while that happened, when realistically he had a heart attack like a couple days later at home.
They're actually coming out with a movie with Sean Penn and Bradley Cooper.
Oh, that's
gonna suck.
Funny you said that. I was waiting to see what you said.
It's gonna be awesome, dude.
No,
I was 2 actors, but
this case marks a historic milestone. It is the first time a federal prosecution, sent to secure sweeping domestic terrorist-related convictions against an organized Antifa cell. The prosecution directly aligns with our administration's aggressive push to dismantle this far-left militant group, following an executive order that designated Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization, as they should be.
Yes.
The sentence was handed down simultaneously on Tuesday by U.S. District Judge Mark Pittman and the Chief U.S. District Judge Reed O'Connor in Fort Worth, Texas. O'Connor completely rejected the peaceful protest narrative, calling the ambush an assault on democracy that required extreme deterrence, which is major. The Alvarado ambush. The case stems from a heavily coordinated armed ambush on a Prairieland ICE detention facility in Texas,
Alvarado.
Just south of Fort Worth, on the night of July 4th. This wasn't a standard demonstration, although most of them haven't been. Trial evidence and witness testimony revealed the cell arrived in black bloc gear with a cache of 11 illegally and legal acquired firearms, body armor, and explosives. They had 11 military-grade trauma kits containing tourniquets and to treat gunshot wounds. So they came ready to fight.
Oh, yeah.
They came ready to shoot, ready to get shot. The cell deployed explosives to deliberately lure federal detention officers outside. They also used special Faraday bags to isolate their cell phones and prevent law enforcement tracking while organizing the attack via an auto deleting message system on Signal. When local law enforcement arrived to assist, the cell leaders shouted, "Get to the rifles!" on body cam footage and opened fire with an AR 15. Alvarado Police Lieutenant Thomas Gross was shot in the neck. Buddy miraculously
It's
survived,
crazy.
which is crazy. There's a
That's
whole lot of
yeah, just getting shot, period, in the neck. Anything.
getting shot at all,
Yeah.
but in the neck, like you've got your esophagus,
Can't
the
tourniquet the neck.
yeah. Cooperating co-defendants testified that the group's explicit underlying plan at a gear check the night before was to violently breach the facility and free the illegal immigrants detained inside. Their whole goal was a prison break.
Living in a fucking fantasy world.
They're so busy playing World of Warcraft and thinking that they
Yeah.
can come together. It's wild.
Yeah, like they really thought they were doing something.
And the worst part is,
Think anybody will try to break in and free them from
no,
federal prison?
they won't. And the worst part is, the left once again propagated this as a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
This was a group of people gathering.
It's an armed terror cell.
It was an armed terror cell, as it should have been claimed.
That's what it was.
The DOJ threw the absolute book at these operatives by using consecutive sentencing announcements, ensuring they will spend the vast majority of their natural lives behind bars. Benjamin Song, former Marine reservist, not taking away from reservists, sentenced to 100 years in federal prison. He was the only defendant convicted of attempted murder because apparently he was the only person to grab a rifle and start shooting. Initially, it was described as something, he had a modified trigger. Then it was a bump stock. Then it was, well, maybe he could just manipulate the rifle in a manner to make it fire.
Right.
Let me look. I think it was 11 rounds and 11 seconds, which realistically is not like if you dump a mag.
Yeah. It's
He faced up to life and effectively received it as he deserved.
100%.
This man openly fired on federal agents, coordinated an attack. And although they do call it explosives, what they were fireworks that you can buy at any fireworks stand. Maybe not here in Florida, but fireworks are just a projectile away from an explosive.
Yeah, they just don't have shrapnel in them or anything.
Tie them up tight with some duct tape, and all of a sudden they don't shoot sparks, they explode.
Yeah. Now you have an explosive you can get in trouble for. So don't do that.
7 of his co-conspirators and his accomplices were hit with massive decade-long sentences for charges including providing material support to terrorists, rioting with intent to commit violence, and conspiracy to use explosives. Marcel Rudo sentenced to 70 years. Additionally convicted of corruptly concealing and destroying documents. They pretend like Signal has some sort of magic thing. If it disappears and deletes, hey, let's just use Snapchat and pretend like those items.
It's encoded or whatever. Encrypted.
Yeah, encrypted. But do you remember, this was a couple years ago, where the United States government set up an app and they pretended like it was going to be an encrypted app and all this stuff. And then they busted like hundreds or thousands of drug dealers that were using it.
Yeah. Well, it also happened in Ireland. I don't know how many years ago, but there was some kind of encrypted app that every like Irish gangster was using to talk about shit. And they literally busted all of them.
Yeah, because
Like, come on, man.
the government does what the government does.
All they got to
And,
do is get a subpoena from the judge.
well, and beyond that, Pegasus.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you don't know what Pegasus is, do your own research. But at the end of the day, it's something that can be put on your phone that doesn't have to be installed. You don't have to accept it. And whoever did it has full access to
Yes.
any of the conversations happening on that phone, any key log, any photo, anything sent, received, or collected. Zachary Everett's, Autumn Hill, Cameron Arnold, Savannah Batten, and Elizabeth Andre Sato all received flat 50-year sentences. Bradford Watson Morris and Daniel Ronaldo Sanchez Estrada received sentences ranging between 30 and 50 years. The era of left wing rioters burning down cities and walking away with a slap on the wrist is officially over. A federal judge in Texas just handed down the combined 450 years in prison to an organized Antifa cell that thought they could launch an armed guerrilla style assault on an ICE facility on the 4th of July. The media is crying, these are kids who just wanted their voices heard. Let's look at the receipts. These people didn't bring megaphones. They brought 11 rifles, body armor, and military trauma kits and explosives. They put their phones in Faraday bags and used encrypted apps. They lured guards into an ambush, and their literal cell leader, a rogue former Marine named Benjamin Song, screamed, "Get to the rifles," and shot a police lieutenant in the neck. They were convicted of providing military or material support to terrorists. And an acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, put it perfectly. Antifa terrorists who attack law enforcement and federal facilities will face swift and uncompromising justice. Combined with our massive 6-3 Supreme Court border wins on Thursday, the message to the radical left is clear. If you try to destroy America's borders legally, the Supreme Court will shut you down. If you try to do it violently with an AR-15, you will rot in a federal cell for the next 50 to 100 years. Law and order is back in town.
Yes, it is.
It's one of those things that we sat through the summer of love, quote unquote. We all remember the images on the TV screen of the reporter standing there going, it's mostly peaceful protests going on while flames were
things were
burning
just
behind
on fire, people running around,
like we all remember that. We remember Minnesota being burned down. We remember multiple cities dealing with this. And we all sat there wondering, where is the rule of law? Well, now it's finally starting to come back. Common sense is now starting to interject.
You also
itself
had politicians calling for that shit too. At the time, they were talking about the streets should rise up, like
and not
Maxine
only
Waters and all them.
Oh, they were.
Mm-hmm.
They were. And not only that, while simultaneously that was happening, they were defunding police agencies in those areas. So you couldn't get a coordinated response.
You had one where a whole police station got ambushed and had to just straight up abandon it.
They left. It was burned down, if I remember correctly.
Might have,
at least they did have to leave. And you're dealing with the lunacy on the left sitting here acting like what happened to those 11 people is some sort of injustice. The media isn't even talking about it. How many of you watching right now heard about that story? How many knew 450 years were added to those 11 people's lives to be in prison, federal prison? And we're not talking about the soft prison that, what was the end? Martha Stewart sat in.
Yeah, day camp, as they refer to it.
This is a real problem that needed to be addressed in 2020. Antifa is not just an ideology,
No, they're not.
which is what members of Congress in 2020 were saying,
Now they're a classified terror group.
because they bring terror to American citizens. It's wild that we're at the point right now that is what it took. An officer getting shot in the neck, almost losing his life, because, and it doesn't say that in the reports that I've looked up that he almost lost his life, but I don't see how you can get shot in the neck and not almost lose your life.
Yeah, must have thumbed it.
Yeah. That's funny. Kentucky ballistic.
Yeah, that is a real
Shout out
way.
to you.
That is a real thing.
But the fact that you have the media hiding that this happened is why we make this podcast. Because the media likes to present all of these things that are fluffy and presentable, or all of these things that make the right wing look crazy.
They try.
You don't have a whole lot of people out here explaining this, bringing up the things that the media doesn't talk about. Because until I started searching up things and until we started, looking up what we were going to do the podcast about tonight, I had no clue that even happened.
Yeah.
I didn't know that 450 years were put. I didn't know that the ringleader got 100 years. Hell, I didn't even know that this trial was happening.
Yeah, me neither.
The media is not talking about it. And why is that? Well, I'll tell you this much. Anything the media, the mainstream media, is propagating to the front of everything is the distraction.
Yes.
From things like this.
They're more worried about a reflecting pool.
Some algae.
You know, liberals telling the algae good job.
They're worshiping the algae.
Just
like it's their god.
The dumbest shit ever.
It's so dumb. But until we get things like this on the front page of a newspaper, most people won't know about it. And if they don't know about it, then we don't understand that justice is finally and actually being served. That officer that got shot in the neck didn't deserve it. He was doing his job. Hell, we can even have the conversation about how Tom Holman under Obama was given an award for deporting 950,000 illegal aliens in a year, but under Donald Trump, he's a Nazi.
Yeah.
ICE was celebrated when Barack Obama put children in cages.
Yes.
Now they're Nazis. And that itself is wild.
Yeah, liberals never said anything when Obama was doing it.
Well, why would they?
Big Bomber.
The bomber in chief?
The bomber in chief.
The next story we're going to talk about tonight is ODNI. The acting director of National Intelligence, Bill Pute, because, what's her name? Storm? Can't think of
it. Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard. She recused herself. She resigned. And she didn't resign because of some bullshit or Trump hated her or any of the things that the mainstream media is out here telling people. She resigned because her husband has cancer.
Yes.
He's dying. Quite possibly. Hopefully he doesn't. Like, we do not wish death upon anyone.
No. That's depressing.
It's depressing and sad if you're doing it. Like, you're a sad person if you want somebody to die. Anyway, he bypasses the Senate logjam and has immediately began firing the entrenched deep state personnel. Deep state's in scrambles right now. Trump is using aggressive executive authority to clean house while the Senate stalls the formal confirmation of Jay Clayton, which they all were excited about when he said, I'm going to just go ahead and nominate Jay Clayton over Bill Pute. We talked about that a couple episodes ago. The swamp tried to paralyze the intelligence community, so Trump installed an acting boss to start handing out pink slips on day one. Here are the exact numbers, specific names, and details behind the massive house cleaning operation that just went down at the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Fired versus resigned. Since taking over, Bill Pute has officially removed 51 personnel from the agency. The corporate media has tried to claim he was wiping out hundreds of people overnight, but the actual breakdown shows a highly targeted and strategic approach. 6 staff members, a mix of career bureaucrats and political holdovers, were terminated completely. 45 staff members were officially stripped of their ODNI roles and sent back to their home agencies like the CIA, the NSA, or the FBI. 0 cuts have been made to the National Counter Terrorism Center, unlike what the mainstream media is trying to say.
Yep.
So far, despite what the rumors have shown. The biggest name pushed out is William Ruger. He was the Deputy Director of National Intelligence for Mission Integrity. Ruger was one of the top intelligent bosses in the building. He was in direct charge of managing the president's daily brief and overseeing the National Intelligence Council, meaning he controlled exactly what intelligence reports made it to this administration's desk. Ruger was officially ousted from his leadership role and placed on administrative leave. Now, my question is, full disclosure, because we don't always celebrate everything, what is administrative leave? Does he have pay? He probably does.
Yeah.
That's generally what administrative leave means. But if it was so bad that you had to fire that guy or place him on administrative leave, why is he getting paid? With your dollars. Because all of these people, every person, every employee of the federal government gets paid with your money. And that's why that matters. This isn't a random decision. It comes directly from the top. President Trump explicitly ordered Pult via Truth Social to execute the immediate needed downsizing of the office, reverting staff to their home agencies. The core mission is to aggressively trim down a bloated post 9/11 bureaucracy. Before Tulsi Gabbard stepped down, she cut the ODNI headcount down from 2,000 to 1,300. Trump and lawmakers like Senator Tom Cotton argue that ODNI has become a bloated administrative middleman that slows down the intelligence community. By sending home 45 detailed agents back to their original agencies, Pult is effectively stripping power from the upper God dang it.
Gosh darn it.
Pult is effectively stripping power from the upper level DC management and returning operators to their field. Predictably, the institutional left is throwing a total tantrum. Senator Mark Warner and Representative Jim Himes fired off an angry letter trying to order Pult to freeze all personnel changes, whining that an acting director shouldn't be making structural changes. This is why they didn't want Pult in the first place. If you watched the podcast a couple weeks ago, we explained that. We explained everything about how they were scared of Pult. That's why Trump had to come out and name, I think it was Jay, as his replacement. But the point of Pult is to cut the fat. And there's a lot of fat. You have, at one point, 2,000 officers in that agency, but they don't actually collect the data. That's the CIA, the FBI, the NSA that collects the data. All they do is present it to the president and present it to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
So why do you need 2,000 people to do that? It's not like they're field agents out there doing the dirt that the CIA, the FBI, and we don't like a lot of the three-letter agencies, the alphabet boys, as some people talk, but they serve a purpose. They do. And lately, the FBI has been putting a lot of child people that hurt children
Yes.
in jail under this administration. Anyway, Pule completely ignored them and executed the cuts anyway. And realistically, like sitting here talking about it, it's 51 people of an agency that still has 1,300 agents. We're not talking like Tulsi Gabbard shut it down from 2,000 to 1,300. We're not talking hundreds or thousands of employees. Hell, we're only talking about 5 or 6 that actually got put on administrative leave or fired. Most of them just got sent back to their original agencies from the bloat that happened after 9/11, which was probably needed.
Yeah.
Like 9/11, we needed more people to do things,
Mhm.
but that was years ago. And just like what happened with NATO and everything else, or you sit here and look at these organizations, NATO was needed after World War I and World War II, and it's still needed to a degree. But the United States doesn't need to fund the majority of it because the majority of NATO's issues live on the other side of the pond. Just like we don't need all these people in the office of the director of national security. I don't fucking remember. We have so many acronyms.
Yeah, there's a lot. The director of national intelligence.
Intelligence,
Yeah.
thank you. Why do we need 2,000 employees for the office of the director of national intelligence? It's literally in the name. They're not the FBI, they're not the CIA, they're
Yeah.
not NSA, they're not Homeland Security, hell, they're not even ICE. The corporate media wants you to believe that Bill Pute is swinging the blind axe inside the ODNI. Let's look at the actual receipts. He didn't fire hundreds of rank and file analysts. He cut exactly 51 people and took 45 entrenched bureaucrats who were detailed to the luxury of the ODNI office and sent them back to their home agencies to do real work where they were needed. Most importantly, he placed William Ruger, the deep state gatekeeper who literally managed the president's daily brief, on administrative leave. Trump told Pute to downsize the swamp's middleman management, and Pute is delivering exactly what he was ordered. He's doing his job.
Yeah.
He's not the director of national intelligence, he's the acting director. And you have a lot of arguments from the left that he has no interest in, he has no experience in national security, and he doesn't. But what he did do is run multi-million-dollar businesses.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, he does understand how to trim fat. That's what his job is. That's why Jay Clayton is actually the nominee that Trump has thrown out to be the director of national intelligence, who even the left and the right, which kind of bothers me that the left is kind of celebrating that he's there, but they both like Jay. None of them like Pult. He's the axe man. That's his job. His job is to show up and trim the fat. Well, at the end of the day, by trimming the fat, what he's doing is saving you and me tax dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And realistically, the left should celebrate that.
Well,
because if we save tax dollars, then maybe we could fund one of their socialist agendas
yeah.
that they're claiming we need money for. But that's not how they look at it. That's funny. They don't look at it that way at all. What they see is, once again, if Trump shows up and tells everyone tomorrow you need oxygen to live, I tell you this much: the left will hold bags over their head and try not to breathe.
100%.
Because Trump said it, and Trump is a Nazi. He is Hitler, and we are Nazis, and we are Hitler's goons.
One of their talking heads says it, they'll just parrot
As a
it.
talking head,
Yeah, as a talking head.
they'll just parrot what?
They'll just parrot whatever they say.
Yeah, no, you're
That's all
absolutely
they
correct.
ever do. They don't really think or come up with their own talking points.
Well, they can't, because at the end of the day, if you have I had a conversation with somebody just the other day that said, I don't believe billionaires can accumulate wealth. What was the word that they used?
Morally.
Morally.
Right.
So I was like, okay, number one, how much money can you earn and accumulate it morally? What is your answer?
What's the cutoff?
What's the line? That person said 100 million. I said, okay. Where did you what facts, what basis do you have in this opinion? That person said, well, it's just my opinion.
So there's no reason or
No, there was none. I actually pushed just a little farther, and I'm like, well, how did you articulate this opinion? Person once again said, well, I have no knowledge in what I'm talking about. That's not exactly what they said, but they said, well, that's my opinion. And I actually gave it to that person, because usually what these type of people say is, well, you know. No, I don't. Tell me what I know. And in this in particular instance, that person said, well, I really don't know what I'm talking about. It's just my opinion. So I had to give them just a little bit of credit, because most leftoids, Democrats, come out and they're like, oh, well, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's a Nazi because he does Nazi things.
Yeah, they never actually have a real reason or
Yeah, well, what Nazi
can
things?
articulate a point.
Yeah, exactly. What Nazi things did he did? Well,
You don't watch the news.
you don't watch the news, which is the hardest and easiest thing at the same time to argue with, because it's hard, because there's an old quote that I remember. You can give me just a minute. You can't convince somebody that was lied to that they were lied to, but you can convince somebody that knows the truth that it's not a lie.
Yeah.
Because the person that was lied to has no real basis in fact. They were lied to.
Yeah,
They were fooled. They were duped.
Mm-hmm.
But the person that knows the truth, you can be like, hey, well, how did you know that? And they have an articulable reason that they can explain to you how they know what they know as a truth. We're going to talk about Iran again.
And Iran.
Number one, before we dive into Iran, I heard a quote today while we were preparing everything, and I had to scribble it down on my paper. 30% of America believe we are not winning this war. How? How could you ever possibly believe that we're not winning this war? And I don't mean winning the paperwork, right? Like, it's not about the MOU's been broken and this and that. But at the end of the day, when I say winning this war, I mean, like, who has the might to actually fly in and drop bombs? And who has the might to actually, like, shut down things from happening and all of those fun things? So I started digging, and I'm not going to get in the long and short of it. Oh, I'm going to get into the long and short of it. But what I found out, because we've been hearing through the entire 60, 70, 80 days, I don't remember the time frame, Oh, well, we went in, we decimated everything. We destroyed them. We completely destroyed them. And what we're actually doing is goading them into doing something else stupid.
Yes.
We're not completely just carpet bombing like we did in World War II when we flew over Berlin.
Right.
It's small precision and tactical strikes, like the response when Iran shot the MV Ever Lovely, which is the last thing that just happened after the memorandum of understanding was signed, was 6 aircraft. And what did we do? We smacked some radar installations that are tracking the boats in that area. We smacked the launchers that launched the 4 drones. We smacked where we believe they were storing the drones that were launched. We didn't just fly in and go, you know what? You fucked the MOU, and now we're going to just bomb your whole area. And that's strategic because we're giving Iran just enough rope to hang themselves internationally. If we'd have started this war, this special military operation, and just leveled Iran, which we have the full, clear, and capable ability to do. As a matter of fact, the United States has wasn't fast enough typing. The keyboard has very ASMR clicks.
Yes.
We have 11 carrier strike groups, and we have 2 of those carrier strike groups in the Strait of Hormuz. We're not even flexing our muscles.
Yeah.
We've got like our left leg in Iran, and the rest of them are just training.
Yeah.
Like we're not like,
Running
hey,
drills.
you know, it's not like we treated World War II where we're in complete, like, we need to build tanks, we need to build this, we need to build that. And the one thing I will say, which is against what the mainstream media is saying, we have not put boots on the ground. And I'm not saying it won't happen, although I do hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't want I don't want American soldiers in Iran, because that will turn into Vietnam, Afghanistan, Korea, like pick a war. But we're not out there trying to just level Iran. We're literally trying, and the more I dig into this, as every time, even though Donald Trump comes on the TV and he's like, we've completely decimated all of their capabilities, that's absolutely not what we're doing. We're literally out there doing precision strikes on things that are shooting things at people. It's no different, and we've talked about this before. Why do you think we were out there striking drug boats in the Gulf of America? That was practice for this. If you look at what we were striking in the Gulf of America and compare it to Iran's fast attack force, it's pretty much the same fucking thing, only it doesn't have a bunch of drugs on it. It was practice. It was like, let's get this down.
Yeah.
Let's figure out how to do this. How
Right.
do I take a fucking military flotilla and stop small attack vessels? And it shut down the fentanyl in America, which is maybe not shut it down, but we lost what, 500,000 people a year to fentanyl?
Yeah, it was a lot.
I'm pretty sure that's more than World War II lost, other than the people killed by the Germans that we're not allowed to talk about because if we do, we get a $7,000 check.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But at the end of the day, it was a training exercise. It was a live fire training exercise.
Hmm.
Because I believe Trump planned to attack Iran in his first administration. But all the bullshit that got washed in his laps, the multiple impeachments, and all the things that were preventing him from doing his job stopped him. And I've watched Iran get kicked down the road since the 90s. Now, I know it's been before that, but I really wasn't paying attention to the news till like the mid to late 90s. And I've been watching Iran chant death to America
Yeah.
for fucking years.
Bunch of terrorists.
Their whole regime, the whole thing, and this is the part that the mainstream media doesn't talk about enough. Their whole thing is the total destruction of everything brings back their God. Look it up yourself. If they get a nuclear weapon, a country that theologically believes destruction of everything brings back their God, what do you think they're going to do? They're just going to hold on to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just going to sit on it. No. Probably not, huh?
Nah.
They're probably gonna,
Absolutely not.
They're probably going to launch nukes. Hell, if you told me, and I believed you, because I don't, my God is a loving and peaceful God, that X, Y, and Z would bring Jesus back. And I believed you, I would probably put a little credence in what you're saying. I would think, hey, maybe we should listen to Greg because Greg is telling me how to bring, what to do in order to bring my God back to this earth. And if you don't believe in God, well, I feel very terrible for you. But at the end of the day, that's what they believe. They believe the total destruction of everything. Israel specifically, America as well, will bring back their version or their antichrist, the antichrist. Like it is. If there's a whole nother conversation we can get in, but that brings back the antichrist. Anyway, I got on a little bit of a tangent. Let me get back to the story. The attack on the MV Ever Lovely. It was a Singapore flag container ship operated by the Taiwanese prominent Evergreen Marine Corporation. The initial attack took place on Thursday, January 25th, 2026 at 1400 UTC time. That's 2:10 p.m. UTC. The ship was exiting the Strait of Hormuz along the southern route, hugging the coast of Oman. It was struck approximately 7.5 nautical miles south of the Oman port of Dahat. This is a massive legal detail. She was traveling through non-Iranian sovereign Oman waters, and that leads to a point. Iran is telling people where they can and can't go. And this is the first time since the Memorandum of Understanding was signed by Iran and us that they've attacked a ship. Now, their justification for attacking the ship is they didn't follow the route we told them. And the other question is, where were the other 3 Shahed drones pointed? Because there was a total of 4 Shahed drones fired. 3 were shot down by us. 4th slipped through and hit that. Nobody died. Hell, it didn't even disable the ship. It was able to keep doing what it was doing. But what it did do was shut down the fact that, well, I'll get to that. President Trump and the military later confirmed that Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy actually launched 4 one-way attack drones at commercial shipping. The U.S. forces successfully shot down 3 of them, but the 4th drone struck the Ever Lovely on her starboard side. The drone caused significant physical damage to the bridge structure and upper deck, but miraculously resulted in 0 crew casualties or environmental leaks. The captain safely completed the transit. The attack occurred exactly on the UN International Maritime Organization's Day of Seafarer, and just 48 hours after the IMO launched a voluntary Strait of Hormuz evacuation framework. They were finally trying to get those 20,000 ships that have been locked in the Gulf of Oman out. Because of the strike, the IMO completely suspended the evacuation framework on Friday, refusing to restart until safety is guaranteed. On Friday, June 26, President Trump blasted the attack on Truth Social, calling it a foolish violation of the newly signed Memorandum of Understanding and ceasefire agreement. When questioned by reporters in the Oval Office about a military response, Trump warned, "Will I respond? You're going to find out." Hours later on Friday night, U.S. Central Command executed a series of targeted and precision airstrikes. U.S. aircraft hammered Iranian military targets near the Strait of Hormuz, specifically focusing on Iranian missile storage warehouses, drone launching facilities, and coastal radar installations, and sites on Qasem Island and near the port of Suruk. J.D. Vance issued a blunt public warning on X. Iran signed a ceasefire agreement. We have honored it, and we have. If they have disagreements about how the MOU is being applied, they can pick up the phone. But violence will be met with violence. CENTCOM stated that while the U.S. military intends to continue enforcing the terms of the shaky ceasefire, forces remain present and vigilant to force complete compliance. Meanwhile, Iran's Revolutionary Guards claim they retaliated by firing warning shots and missiles near U.S. positions, warning a broader response if targeted again. We bombed them. They missed us on purpose.
Yeah.
And then said, if you do it again, let me wag my finger.
If
you do it again, we won't miss. Yes, the fuck you will. You don't have the goddamn capability to hit any fucking thing that the United States has.
Yeah.
We'll shoot it down, break it, and break you in the process. We're trying to give you the ability to still have a country after this. They're not listening. Look at the timeline. On Tuesday, Chuck Schumer and 4 Republican RINOs, Rand Paul, Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, and Lisa Murkowski, were high-fiving in the Senate after passing a sneaky 50-48 war powers resolution trying to tie Donald Trump's hands on Iran. They did it while Mitch McConnell was in the hospital playing unprincipled attendance games. 48 hours later, Iran completely shatters the Versailles ceasefire, launching 4 suicide drones, bombs a commercial cargo ship on the International Day of Seafarer, and shuts down the UN evacuation corridor. This is what happens when the enemies of freedom see a fractured, weak legislative branch trying to play hall monitor to the commander-in-chief. But Donald Trump didn't dial up Chuck Schumer for permission. He didn't call him and go, hey, can I do this? He didn't wait for a Senate committee to debate. He gave the green light to CENTCOM. U.S. aircraft flattened Iran's drone bases and radar sites on Qasem Island. And like J.D. Vance said, violence will be met with violence. Trump proved it in less than an hour why peace through strength requires decisive executive authority, completely exposing the establishment's legislative games as dangerous and delusional as they are. Because that is what they are. How hard did we hit them? CENTCOM deployed 6 U.S. combat aircraft for the mission. The aircraft loaded up with precision-guided munitions to execute a highly targeted, aggressive package. This wasn't a standard open-ended bombing campaign. A senior defense official confirmed that it was rapid, high-impact operation designed explicitly to degrade the exact radar and launch systems Iran used to stalk the MB Ever Lovely. The entire kinetic operation was executed cleanly and completely in under an hour. We hit them for an hour and then we stopped. You shoot 4 drones, we're going to stop your ability from shooting those 4 drones from that area. Then we're going to give you a little more rope. Go ahead and hang yourself. The U.S. military targeted and completely neutralized 4 specific high-value Iranian military installations along the coast and on strategic islands. Strikes flattened coastal radar systems and missile positions directly lining the Iranian side of the Strait of Hormuz. Locals reported from inside Iran confirmed that major payloads blasted directly near a key pier in the southern port town of Shirk. The aircraft targeted a highly secured, strategic Iranian-controlled island sitting directly in the throat of the vital shipping lane. CENTCOM's battle damage assessment confirmed the total destruction of active one-way attack drone storage hubs, mobile missile launching systems, and coastal radar tracking installations. Trump says you're going to find out if we respond. He means it. He didn't send a strong worded letter like Barack Obama. He didn't say don't. CENTCOM scrambled 6 high-performance combat aircraft, flew directly into the teeth of their defenses, and systematically wiped out 4 vital target centers in under 60 minutes. We leveled their drone warehouses on Keshem Island, vaporized their coastal tracking radar, and sent a shockwave straight through the IRGC. 4 targets, 6 warplanes, 0 hesitation. That's how you defend American interests.
Yes.
And that's exactly what he should have did. When he signed the MOU, we were questionable. If Iran breaks it, what are we going to do?
Right.
Are we going to, hey, don't do that? He did exactly what he should have done. He bombed the fucking snot out of where those things came from. We didn't go through and level Iran. We didn't blow up bridges. We didn't hit power plants. We didn't. We stopped their capability from doing what they did from where they did again. And that is what a true leader does. All right, guys, we appreciate y'all sitting here. The 5 of you that are still sitting, the 25 on X, YouTube, and locals.
Mucho apreciado.
Check in next Thursday. We'll be here. We hate talking about Iran so much. Just a little insight into the podcast, realistically. Like, it's starting to feel repetitive. Now, I know it's different things that we're talking about.
Right.
But I don't want to fucking talk about Iran anymore. Fuck you, Chris. Don't let a whale swallow you while you're in Hawaii.
Hawaii.
But this country was founded in 1776 to prevent shit like this from happening. Not because we're worried about the rest of the world or the police of the rest of the world, but because we're worried about the cost to American citizens. When we founded this country in 1776, it was realistically over a 3% T-tax. Now we pay a whole lot more taxes, but that's a different argument because at least we have representation. No taxation without representation. the end of the day, we want to see America made great again.
Yes.
That's it. That's what MAGA stands for. Doesn't mean Nazi. Doesn't mean racist. Doesn't mean we're Hitler. You slowly fade out.
Oh, well.
Anyway, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the follow, turn on your notifications so on Thursday when we show up somewhere between 7:30 and 9 o'clock, you join.
Do it.
We appreciate y'all watching. Ultramaganation. We are out.
Peace.